On live. And I think we're live. Hey everybody, Jon Bobrow here, founder of Move38 and creator of Blinks. Welcome back to another one of our lunchtime live streams. Today, if you were paying attention to the title, you'll notice...
Okay.
So...
Hey John, you're on mute, just so you know, on the Zoom.
What's that? Let's see. Oh, I'm on mute. Okay. Take two. We'll see if our internet holds up to this again. It's working?
Yeah, gotcha.
Cool, cool. Okay. So, thanks so much everybody for hanging on there. We're almost up and running. I just need to reset the windows for our screen share. So let's see. OBS. Where is it? Here we go. Actually not sure where that window went. Okay, thanks so much for hanging on. I can tell that OBS is running because I get this nice frame around me, but for some reason the computer has it's not showing the window. There we go. Okay. And let me see, window capture. These are close. That's two. Oh, that looks pretty good. Okay. Everybody gets to participate in the troubleshoot. Okay. This is looking fine and dandy. Oh goodness, look at this. I mean, why would you want to show up for a live stream if you didn't get a little bit of the behind the scenes troubleshoot anyway? Okay, perfect. I think we're up and running. So I think that was intro enough from me. So let's talk to our guests. Francisco, Spencer, welcome to our live stream.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Francisco and Spencer are two designers, and they are game designers that you may recognize from the Blinks Developer Forum. But you'll also recognize them from our Kickstarter in the Epic Adventure. One of our stretch goals for the Epic Adventure was Dragon's Lair, a brand new game. And so I was hoping, both Francisco, Spencer, that you could tell me about Dragon's Lair, and we'll show it off a little bit as well.
Sure. Yeah, so really at its core, Dragon's Lair is a collection type with survival elements is how I describe it. So you start with your treasure hunter blink, which is your player blink, and all the rest of the blinks are clustered together and they form a lair. And really you're just trying to match the different colors on your treasure hunter blink to the different treasures that are out in the lair to get as many points as you can. And then while that's happening, the dragon, which is also in the lair, is sending out all these attacks to try to kind of throw you off your game and make you lose health. And if you lose enough, then you die and then transition over to score mode. So.
Awesome. So we don't have any games on the Blinks game system like this. And I feel like that's been one of the things that's been so exciting about the first 30 games that we've published. None of them really have significant overlap in gameplay style. I'm curious to hear, I mean, I kind of want to give people a little bit of the origin story of where this came up. I know the first time I saw this happened to be a post on the forum that I think, Francisco, you posted on the forum, and...
Well, it started Spencer posted the game on the forum, and he just said, I want to do this, but I don't know anything running. And I said, me neither, but I already did a game, and it's kind of working because it was already on one of the streams. And okay, you can do it. You can perfectly do it because I know nothing about programming and I did a game, so I'm sure you can do it. And it's all there because he started developing the game. Then I started developing some of the artwork of the game, also code bagging game. So it was a really nice adventure.
Yeah, like Francisco said, I mean, really, I had absolutely zero intention of actually coding. I had been a backer of the spring Kickstarter, and was really excited about the platform. And your brain start to get ideas for like what games you'd like to see on the platform, and this was kind of what I had come up with for what I would think would maybe be my ideal. So I was like, this is the game I really want to play. Like someone out there who's more skilled than I am, maybe you could take a stab at this. And really, Brent's there to say like, hey, you can do it. Like if I can do it, you can do it. And I just dove headfirst in, and thankfully there's a lot of really good information out there on the forum and on the 38 website to help support for developers. And I think there's definitely a little bit of first, but once you start making connections, it really starts to come together, and it's really not as hard as you think.
And the funny part of it is that we didn't have any blinks to try it, so we just went through the process of developing the game, any blinks or nothing. Actually, he managed to get the first 3 blinks, the Somerset blink, and just had a programmer. But imagine the situation, me with the programmer and Spencer with the blinks, but we can't do nothing. It was really funny.
I was so impressed to see this, and I think the whole team Move38 was like following the process both through the forum where we were seeing, Spencer, your post of like, anybody want to help on this? And then like, yeah, I'm down. And also the fact that like games were popping up on our forum without blinks in hand. It was super cool to see actually like, one of the things that this is totally a first for us, because we felt that like making a game for blinks really requires you to think with them in the hand and really think about gameplay. But it's clear that both of you were thinking about like the player experience with blinks in hand, first without blinks in hand and then with only a few. So it's I feel like that was really neat, and I feel like I encourage other people to pop into the forum and see how this game evolved over time, because I feel like it's really neat to see that process. I'm curious to know, before I'll switch cameras in a bit to show some of the gameplay, but I'm curious to know a little bit more about each of you. So, Spencer, I'm curious, like, what do you do during the day? And is this the first game you've designed? Have you designed games before? Same as you, Francisco.
Sure, yeah, I can start. So I'm actually a budget analyst for the City of Chandler Fire Department. So, totally unrelated to anything technical or program-related. In my personal life, I do really enjoy playing like video games, board games, things like that, but had never done anything as far as development or programming. So this is really my first foray into that, and I think it went really well. I definitely don't think this will be my last game. I think it definitely there's a lot of exciting things to come, hopefully.
Awesome.
Well, in my case, I'm an industrial, but I have never coded anything in my life. Just maybe in the school, some Visual Basic coding, but nothing too much complicated. And in my daily routine, I work for an insurance company, so something that is not related with my studies or so. But I'm really into board games, computer games, and this was like the first to introduce you to programming for blinks in an easy language like Arduino. It was really nice to this experience.
It's so cool to hear. I actually had made.
There's no way I could have known.
That's
He's
so.
he's been programming for a long time.
So Dan's in the office saying, and he's he's following along on the live stream, and he's saying that you're both catching us completely off guard, that you did not have experience programming before, because honestly, what was being posted, it was so cool to see what, like, you could have fooled us. You did fool us. Yeah, I mean, we were able to, and I think it's helpful for people to know part of the process. For, these first games, Dan and I have, largely either, and the Move38 interns, have helped in the process of bringing a number of these games to life. And so games in the Epic Adventure set, a lot of the game design done by each of the individuals who design the games. And then for aspects of maybe visuals or a little bit of logic, we'd help out on the code there. But I think this is just such a cool experience of, like, it's so neat. I'm so curious to hear more about your experience of, like, looking at the Blink's API and then going, okay, I can do this. And, like, not only, Francisco, did you do that, but you're also, like, encouraging others. You're like, yeah, Spencer, you can do this. You got this.
Yeah, I just started with the hunt game. I started doing small steps with the tutorial, the API, with the examples. Okay, if I press a button, I'm going to send this message. Also, in the forum is really follow. You have 6 points to send the code, like 6 bits of information. So I can information here, this information here. Okay, I can work with this. So what do I want to do with my game? I can do 6 different things at the same time. Okay, I'm going to think on a cool game based on my board game experience and do my own game. So I did the hunt. I didn't know even if it was working. You tried it on live, and it was amazing because it was working. So I just said, Spencer, okay, if I did it, you can do it. Of course.
Yeah. I mean, my experience is kind of similar to Francis in that, I actually kind of took the opposite approach in that a lot of my initial experience was actually reverse engineering games. And that's one of the things I really love about the Blinks platform is all of the game code is open source. So, a lot of what I did is, go into the different games, see like how they did things, go line by line in the code and see try to understand how, what is this saying here? And if I didn't understand what it was saying, just go to PI and, do it, and then you kind of start to piece things together, and then, just kind of go from there.
I love that.
The cool thing is you can do it following small tutorials, because if you click, you have this code. If you attach one blink to another, you have some kind of reaction. So it's really easy to follow small tutorials. You put all the tutorials together, you can have a nice game with a nice approach, and you can imagine different rules for whatever. For Tensor did also a game with just one simple rule for the blink. All started with the nothing game. Now is also another game, a different game. So it's easy to think on different new rules applied to the set, because it's all based on 6 LEDs and a button, and it's not too much, but you can do a lot of things with that. And when you have that kind of restrictions, is when you think on different approach.
Yeah, I feel like you touched on something. Spencer, do you feel the same, that there's very tight constraints for blinks, and so you're forced to I feel like for me specifically, my creativity is really best when I have some tight constraints that I have to work within, rather than a blank canvas that's go do whatever you want.
I will say, as someone just starting out with programming, some of the constraints are actually really nice in my opinion, because if you have too wide, you sometimes don't really know where to start. But having kind of some of those walls up with limitations, it kind of draws your focus in, and gives you a little bit better of a starting place instead of, not really.
So it's awesome to see what people is trying to do in the forum, and they already did it. They did games with just this kind of constrictions, and it's awesome.
I'm gonna switch over to, let's see if I can switch over to this other view, and let's show off what you guys have built here, because I think it's really rad, and I've honestly been losing myself to it over the past few weeks, especially as it was getting prepared and ready to ship, because we really rushed this game to bring this to everybody as early as this Epic Adventure Kickstarter campaign. So can you see it on your guys' side as well?
You can't.
Okay. So as you had described, this is Dragon's Lair, and we have, let me wake it back up. And so I'm going to play one player here just for a little demonstration. And then I'm going to create a dragon by triple clicking a single layer piece. And the animations, I'll hold it up a little bit close. Oh, it just threw darkness. Let's see. Okay, so I love the way everything came out, where it's like, so there's the dragon in the lair, and then it's poisonous smoke, and I need to double click my piece. And I think, as I was following along on the forum, I really liked seeing things like, how do you track like the 3 luck? Like the 3 luck, and then somebody was like, oh, there's 3 spots in there available for the luck. You could display that in there. And just even, let me see if I'm going to collect some, let's see. Oh, and so I just got hit. And so you can sort of see it. It's really clear here, but you can make it out on camera that I've got 2 luck left. And what do you think? I'm going to try and mine some gold as well. Can I tell you, both Spencer and Francisco, I just, in recording the rules for the how-to, just understood fully the rule for the gold, and I really love that aspect. Do you want to describe what happens there? Because this is a little bit different than the first time I had played this.
Sure. So with the gold treasures, there being instantaneous collection, you actually have to mine. And what I mean by you have to connect once, and then you can either leave your blink connected for, I believe it's 3 seconds, or you can actually leave and then come back after 3 seconds and treasure. And that actually leads to some really interesting possibilities within the game. And I don't think that we really have an official name for it, but kind of for it is treasure juggling. And what I mean by that is you can actually like start a gold, and then while the gold is being mined, go to the rubies and get a couple other treasures, and then come back and collect the gold pieces. Or even I was actually just playing the other day, and there was like 6 or 7 gold in the lair at one time. Actually, like starting mining on like all 7 pieces, and then going and collecting all 7 at once, and then like trying to dodge that at one time. It's just a really interesting and a lot to keep track of, and it's just a cool experience.
And the funny part is when you have 2, 3, 4 players, you can steal that gold.
Yeah.
If someone is mining the gold and he started mining and more emerald whatever, you can steal that gold, because when people is waiting for the 3 points, while you have to wait, other people can attach the blink and get the score.
I love that aspect. I think that's so cool. And let's see. Yeah. I feel like that element of being able to steal in the middle of the game.
Do I go mining, or do I go for the easier instant collection ruby and emerald piece?
Yeah, I really like those. I love when you have those like interplayer dynamics. And I feel like we're seeing more and more Blinks games pop up where it's considering, I think, Cure Williams' game with Ghost Hunters, that's part of the Epic Adventure set, has a really nice element of trying to juggle your roles. That's cooperative, of course. This it's a little bit more competitive. Let me see. I'm doing pretty well. I feel like I should wrap one of my treasure hunt. Oh, as I said that, I ended up losing. So I think this is cool for everybody to see as well, which is this is the first game released for Blinks that has a score mechanic built in. And so when you're playing Whack-A-Mole or Wham, you know if you won or you lost, but you don't know how far you got, and you can't play for high score. In Dragon's Lair, there's the first game that the single blink, my player blink, has the score. So how did you come up with this, and how's it work?
Yeah, so kind of a interesting story with that. I remember when I was little, there was a game, which I'm sure everyone's familiar with, called Bop It. And the second iteration of it was actually something called Bop It Extreme, which had not only the original 3, but it had like a wheel you could spin, and it had a little like thingy that you're supposed to. But anyways, not to get too sidetracked, there was a mechanic for that. How it actually displayed the score was similar to this, but it actually used video cues. So it would have like a horn noise, or it would have like a wheel spinning noise, and that's how it communicated the score. So 210 points, it would be like a horn honk noise followed by, like 2 wheel spinning noises followed by a cow mooing or something. So I don't know. I just kind of thought that was a really interesting way to convey numbers in limited display capabilities. So
I love that. I think that's so cool. I mean, I feel like, yeah. And it's interesting with Bop It, like they had a speaker there. They could have just spoken the scores. And little did they know, I'm sure the creator of Bop It would love to hear this story of like, cool, that influenced it. It helps somebody else think about how they could communicate in other ways. And it's just, I feel like it's, it's very elegant. Like it's simple, it's straightforward. I believe yellow is the hundreds digit, green is the tens digit, and red is the ones digit. Is that right?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, right.
And so my score on this game, let's see. I'm gonna see how I did here. 2, 3, 4, 5. So I got 45. Not bad. Not bad for live stream go. What were you saying, Spencer? Right before our live stream, I think you and Francisco were talking about your high scores.
Yeah, so I was saying...
Yes, I actually, in the YouTube comments, there is someone who has 253. So
nice.
You have to beat that, Spencer.
My high score is 205, so good job, whoever.
205, 253. And we were talking about on this as well, what our limit for the high score is. We'll have to publish that on the forum. I'm not sure if it's a bit of an open question at the moment.
Yeah, if you get there, let us know.
I guess the limit for what we'll display though will be 999.
The yellow could flash off the children.
Whoa!
Yeah, because that was unbound.
Dan has from the backdrop. Dan has let us know that the hundreds digit can actually display 256 times 100. So it seems like the high score is somewhere in the 25,000 range.
No, 2,500.
2,500. Oh, 2,500. Okay, still pretty good.
Sounds like a challenge, right, to the viewers?
I think yeah. So we're looking forward to. So the first person who can videotape themselves scoring 25,000, maxing out the Dragon's Lair.
Check the map. You wouldn't have batteries in it. That could be a 40-hour game.
You might be playing for hours on end to accomplish this. But I feel like we have to do something special for you. I think there's a free Blink set in for that for sure. Well, I feel like this has been really, I hope this has been informative for everybody to see Dragon's Lair. The how-to video is going up shortly. And Dragon's Lair, we're going to actually see the first ones arrive at the Move38 warehouse. Fingers crossed, everything goes smoothly. It should be arriving in the warehouses next week. And I wanted to share this on the... This is not the official from the factory. This is printed from our printer in the office. But I always feel like it's pretty neat to see the game art officially on the Blinks. And so I feel like in a last thing to kind of wrap...
That one is better than my with just the name.
I like the mixtape look a lot too. I'm not sure if I've actually... it's possible that I've said this on Livestream before as well, but if this is your first time seeing the blanks on Livestream, when we started building the platform, one of the intentions of offering blanks was that even if your game isn't published in one of the sets, the fact that you have the ability to create as many of your own game and distribute them to friends or have an underground distribution of, oh, there's only 10 of this game, is totally a possibility. And so it's always neat to see how people label them. I remember picking up like colored Sharpies to just kind of custom label our blinks in the office before we got savvy and thought of printing and stickering the labels. So maybe some of the next games, I guess maybe that's a good thing to share a little bit. Spencer, are there other games that you have in the works? Is Dragon's Lair, this is the first game published for on Blinks?
Well, actually, I now that Spencer talked about the Bapit, I have a Bapit version on Blinks also, and it works with just 3 Blinks. You have to attach, rotate, and press.
Awesome.
So it's...
That's a good one. And then I think Francisco mentioned a little earlier, I have another game on the forum right now. It's called a and it's actually kind of interesting. The kind of direction I went with it is as a party game. So there's actually like 18 mini games, small games that all use the same mechanics with the blinks, which is if there's any interaction, whether or any connections are made, it triggers the tripwire, and then they all start flashing, doing crazy colors. So, there's 18 different games that all organic, and then it actually has a random game selector in it too. Just kind of, and then there's a couple other projects in the works as well that hopefully no one will see here shortly. But
Awesome. And I feel like I can't have Francisco on this live stream without asking about some of the things you've posted to our forum with respect to not just Blinks games, but 3D printing.
Oh, yes, I have some here. Like this. Yeah, because someone in the forum posted like a link that can work with small squares you can put here. And you can like prototype games without really having blinks, without knowing how to program, because every spot is like a light on the blinks. So you can put the color you want, and you can work on that. You can also even some magnets, and you can attach them with magnets. So it works like a real blink, but it's just plastic.
And you can use them with real blinks too, right, Francisco? if you have the
Yeah, actually, you can because you have magnets, so you can attach it to real blinks, and you can even new and different games that use real pieces to interact with the game. So kind of a electronic version of example or something like that. You can develop your own game with that.
So I haven't told you this yet, but when I saw this pop up, I was like, first of all, it's so rad. And I think Martin on our forum also had created a prototyping tool like this. And
yes, this wasn't my idea. I just picked the idea and made a more
right?
bigger version of it and put some magnets in the same idea.
And so I wanted to share this. So this week, registration went live at New York University, NYU. And the registration went live. And actually, in the spring, I'm going to be teaching a class with blinks. And so one of the things when I saw this pop up on the forum was like, awesome. Students have the ability to not only prototype their games in code and be working through them, but it seems like such a wonderful tool to be able to think about games before you even need to touch a line of code. And so super cool to see that printed and just like, yeah, that's just one of many things you've shared, and you've shared those so freely on the forum. It's just so neat to see the community. Yeah.
Also with the same like 3D print design, I did like a case for the programmer that is also on the forum because I'm a programmer. Because it's open source, so you can do it if you want. I mean, it's a lot easier to get the blinks. I started with this without having even a date of arrival, so I started working on it, and I designed the case.
That's
3D printed.
We need to make one of those in the office. We'll have to print one out. It's I've seen your photos and documentation of it. It's like, and while we were working on the latest version of the developer blink that we just leave connected via USB, I think this would still be handy for the number of blinks that we're programming and how frequently we're updating them. So super cool. Is there anything else? I always like to give you a chance to do some shout outs. Is there anywhere else, other than the forum, of course, that other people should keep in touch with you, follow the kind of work you're doing? What's the best spot?
Well, actually, I don't have too much social media, so people can just write me on.
Awesome.
Same here as well. I'm a social media hermit, so if you want to talk to me, you got to do it on the Move38 forum or the plug in for the Discord. Blink's Discord's pretty awesome, so get on there too.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a perfect shout out and a good one. So yeah, Spencer, Francisco, this has been so nice catching up with you both, having you on the live stream. I'm looking forward to having you guys on again. There's clearly lots in the work, and I think everybody loves hearing how these things come from an idea into a game. So if you haven't joined the Move38, the Blinks Discord, definitely sign up and join that. That's completely community run. And while Move38 is following along, and it's really neat to see how the community is interacting with each other. And then, of course, on the Move38 forum, we're in there moderating and always happy to help. And if you haven't subscribed to our live streams, should we all do it together? Make sure you press the subscribe down below and hit the like. And we'll see you next Thursday for our live stream every Thursday at 1 p.m. So Francisco, Spencer, thanks so much for joining, and we'll see y'all next week.
Bye-bye.